What's going on YouTube? Marcus Crockett back with another video. So when I first started actually getting on YouTube, doing my whole YouTube thing, I was out there and I was looking for people who I felt confident, knew what it was that they were talking about in the commercial cleaning space, in the cleaning space in general. And this lady that I'm about to introduce you to, it didn't take me long when I seen her first video, or the first video I've seen of her. I said, this lady knows exactly what it is that she's talking about. Guys, I'm not going to stretch this out. I don't want to hold it or make this thing any longer than what it needs to be. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring you Miss Jasmine Tate. Jasmine, how you doing?
I am well. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I'm super excited to be here and talk to your community.
Definitely. I'm glad to have you. So, Jasmine, just like tell us a little bit, like where are you from? Like, you know, where's your business located?
Yes. So I am born and raised from California. Okay, y'all, I'm a Cali girl all the way, born in Compton, California, grew up in Sacramento, and then later in life, we relocated here to the great state of Texas, which is where I started my cleaning business. So my cleaning business is here in Dallas, Texas. I also have one in Arizona and in the process of opening up some others, but my main hub is here in Dallas.
So you are a Cali girl, originally
Yes.
West Side.
Yes. West Side. Okay.
Okay, so LA, then to Sacramento, from Sacramento, now we're in Texas, right? And
Yes.
okay, cool. So that's something to build on. But let's go back a little bit. Like how was it like in your environment when you were growing up? Like what were some of the influences that you saw outside? You don't have to really talk too much about, inside of the home life, but
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you saw outside?
So, it's, I feel like I was bred to be an entrepreneur. I grew up with a very strict household, old school household. Okay, y'all, my dad was Navy, all right. So it was like I grew up cleaning, okay? So it's really no surprise to me that I started in the cleaning industry. But I feel like watching my dad as a young child, like he was literally bred in me to become an entrepreneur. My dad is he started a business. I think I was maybe in the 6th grade, okay? And he started a donut shop, right there in the Heights. If we got any California people, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? And right down the corner, and it's like super perfect location. When I think about it now, I'd be like, yo, Dad, how did you think about this? Like before courses and YouTube, like what in your mind, like perfect location, down the street from a police department, next door to a high school, across the street from a school district. Like how perfect can you get from a donut shop, right? So I remember being young, standing on a milk crate, ringing out the customers, right? And he was like, man, business stops around noon. Like, how can he didn't have this conversation with me. I'm just eavesdropping, okay? Like, how can we bring on more business? So he added on deli. So we became a donut and deli shop, right? So I'm at school though, so I couldn't help with those customers. And same conversation ended up happening a couple of months later. And it was like, we're slowing down after lunchtime. How can I bring on more business? And he added barbecue. Okay. I don't know, no other spot, but my dad had, I want to say, the first ever donut deli and barbecue shop right in the Heights of Sacramento, California. And watching him create something out of nothing to try to make something better for his household. His profession was a truck driver. So most of his time was gone away from the household, and he just got tired of that. So seeing him create something out of nothing gave me the hope that if he can do it, I can do it. And I just feel like just watching him, I felt like I was never meant for 9 to 5. Like I had to figure this thing out. And I think that influence helped me a lot throughout my entrepreneurial journey.
That's pretty dope. Like, so your dad from the Navy opened up a donut shop, turned the donut shop into now we're serving donuts and we're going to be a deli. And then also we're going to give you some ribs and all of that good stuff for dinner time.
Like, yeah, and he's smoking up the grill during breakfast. So people's like, he's putting pre-orders and they leaving with the donuts, be like, all right, give me one plate. I'm going to pick it up at 5. I mean, like the dynamics that he built there was amazing. Like, I don't even know how he did it. I wish he would write a book about it.
That is it. So is the shop still there?
It's not.
Okay.
Later in life, our house had caught on fire and we just
Oh,
went through some financial situations and we had to get replaced and things. So we ended up closing it. But then shortly after, a couple years later, I was getting ready to turn 17. I was graduating from high school. And he's like, what are you gonna do? Like, I just moved out. And I remember him coming to pick me up from my new apartment that I was living in, and he drove me down the street. And I'm like, Dad, what are we doing in the shopping plaza? Like, I'm so confused. Like, I'm 16, 17. He was like, I got you your new job. So I'm like, Dad, you didn't, like, how can you give me a job? So then I wish I had some keys. So he just handed me these keys and he was like, I bought this business for you. And it's so crazy. I mean, like, I was really young. That's during that young and dumb stage. Okay. I have a 16-year-old, so I get that young and dumb stage. They're like, how are you so young and dumb? Like, but he bought me a video game trading post. This was the name of it. And it's basically kind of like the theory of GameStop, buy, sell, trade video games. And I'm like, Dad, I'm a girl. I don't like video games. He's like, but I'm seeing the market and GameStop. So yeah, so I really got, into entrepreneur at a very young age.
wow, that is amazing. And your dad, I'm gonna say, like, your dad, what he was doing is exactly what I want to be able to do for my kids.
Yeah.
Like, they see the growth, they see the process, they see what I'm doing. Like, my kids don't really have any desire to work for anyone else. So I would love for when they get to be a little bit older that I'm in position to where it's like, well, if I'm not going to give you a business, let me help you get started in one and then
Yeah.
kind of show you some things. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the way that your dad did that. I hope that I'm in that position where I'm able to do that one day.
Yeah. I mean, me too. I mean, that's exactly what I'm working hard for, so I can be able to do the same thing he did.
Definitely. So let's stay in that general area, like 15, 16. Like, what type of person were you in high school, right? Were you athlete, bookworm, ASB club? Like, what was Jasmine doing in high school?
Oh my goodness, high school. I wish I could go back and talk to Jasmine in high school. High school, Jasmine, I feel like I had a lot of the similar traits that I do now. I was an athlete. I was a student athlete. I did work a 9 to 5. I was working at Macy's. That was my first job. So I had to balance things. I also have dyslexia. So I was challenged a lot in school because I learned different. And back then, like it wasn't so easily diagnosed as it is now. And there's not as many tools available. So I had to study my butt off. So if I wasn't on the court, if I wasn't at work, I was like studying because my dad was strict. Okay. So if I didn't have the grades, I couldn't play and I couldn't go to work. So that was pretty much my high school. Of course, I had fun. I had my group of friends and, did all the things that high school girls would do. But I was focused because I wanted to achieve really high goals with my sports career and really high collegiate goals for my college.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I want to just touch on that really quick. So, being that you come from an entrepreneurial background with your dad, and then with the dyslexia, do you think that being in business now, like having those things in your background, or some of the things you may still be dealing with, do you think those things have helped you right now, or how have they helped you rather? 'Cause
Oh,
I
heck
know
yeah.
they have had to have help.
Yeah. I mean, because my work ethic is crazy. It's unmatched. And because my normal habit that I had to adapt to and create was overstudy, overstudy, overlearn, overlearn, because dyslexia is like, it's not a like, a learning disability. It's just we see things like if I can easily spell the HTE, and to me I can see the word, like that just means I have to just over repeat things in my head, right? And over study things. So it helped me to create like a beast of a works ethic. Like, so it's definitely helped me. Now, I can see some ways how it has hindered me, because I'm not easy to ask for help and I can overwork myself until I find a solution and end up in a crazy rabbit hole. But it's definitely, to me, I feel like it's been in my benefit.
I think I might be able to get checked for dyslexia because I will work and work and work and work and work. My wife be like, "Are you gonna come home yet?" Like go ahead and turn the computer off. But,
Right.
so let me ask you this, Jasmine. Would you consider yourself to be an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely introvert. I mean, in my most comfortable state, I'm an introvert. Like, I'm gonna choose Netflix and the couch every day. I'm a soccer mom. I have 3 busy kids, so I'm heavily involved in like sports activities every weekend, but I will choose the couch any day. Now, of course, I can turn on that extrovert when I need to. I can be in public and speak and talk to people and engage, but on the inside, I'm like, God, I'm ready to go. Like, are you done talking?
The crazy thing is that the more and more people, because I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an introvert and I can turn it on and I can talk, but it's the same. Like I'll always choose to be at home and just
Oh
be
yeah.
chilling. But the more people that I talk to, the more people that I talk to that are in business and that are successful in business, the more I'm finding out like it seems like to be a common theme for us to be like, introverts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's great. And I was just talking with one of my best friends a minute ago, right before we had got on. We were joking about both being introverts. So that's it doesn't really surprise me that you say that you're an introvert, but, just based on all of the other conversations and things that I've had. So yeah, it's one of those things that I'm definitely start to see some correlation between business people and being
Yeah.
introverts. Yeah. Would you say your sole motivation for being an entrepreneur came from your dad, or do you think that are there other things that played into that?
I would say he's one of the most heavy factors. I just gained so much like philosophies from him. As humans, we mainly, not mainly, but most of our communication is nonverbal, right? So I just used to watch my dad and just watch him move and not really asking him questions because I think at a young age, I didn't really have the desire to know the answers at that young age, but I watched. So now, as I'm older, I just start thinking back and dissecting things. And now I can come back and ask him. Gratefully, I can come back and ask him. But at that time, I wasn't. But it's just watching. I mean, I've seen my dad strive and do so many things, right? So when I remember maybe 19, 20, my philosophy was like, look, I'd rather try 100 things 100 times and fail than never to try anything at all and have that level of regret to see like if it would have worked. I must have tried every kind of business, anything that I felt like I had an entrance in or I was kind of good at, from like garage cleaning to makeup artist to, I mean, I had a blog. I mean, so many different things I tried because I was just trying to find where I fit in and what I can do well that can produce kind of income, that can produce a lifestyle that I wanted. So I would definitely say my dad played a very, very, very heavy role in that. It kind of set the foundation. Now, of course, it's my family now that carries that weight, but he definitely set the tone for that.
You graduate high school, 17. Your dad gives you the keys to your brand new business. Let's not count that one. Let's count the one that you start, that you go through, and you're like, this is the route that I want to take in my life. I know this is what I want to do. This is me getting my own LLC or sole proprietor, however you set it up. Like you're doing all of the groundwork. You're laying down the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
What was your mindset when you decided like this is what I'm going to do? How was your mindset at that time?
Well, it's crazy because like I think I technically just got my first LLC maybe 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
So I've had businesses to where like I didn't fully set them up, right? Because as an entrepreneur, like you go in phases, right? The more you learn, the more you know, you can do better with that information. So I think I lacked a lot of information in the beginning of how to set your business up the right way, how to create that fundamentals of how to actually create generational wealth.
Mhm.
A side hustle cannot be passed down, you know? So, so my mindset at that time was, after me intensively going and just doing a lot of study, which made me into that situation during the pandemic, right? You stuck in the house, had nothing to do but to read, learn, and try to grow your mindset. So that was when I first got my first LLC, and it was all about like how to build something that can stand, that I can pass down. So we did a lot of research, and we set up a family trust, a business trust. So my mindset was all on how can we build generational wealth? How can we make sure that this financial curse stops right here, and my children and grandchildren will never have a need. Right now, I'm not going to spoil these kids whatsoever, and I'm not working for these kids, but I'm building for them. So I think that was my mindset at that time.
Wow. You're the first person that I've interviewed so far that has started their business with that level of understanding, as far as like, I haven't heard anyone talk about setting up a trust yet. Like, I haven't, there are things that I need to set up within my own business. So for you to come in and to even know, like, these are the things that I need to do, these are the things that I need to accomplish, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. Like, that's amazing. Because and this is really what, like, the reason why, like, we were even having this conversation, because when I'm watching your videos and I'm looking at you, I'm like, yo, this girl really knows what she's talking about, right? And that's just showing through right now. Like, even knowing, like, I need to set this up, this up, this up.
Mhm.
I'm not working for my kids, but I'm going to show them a way where they can go ahead and piggyback off, and then they can
Exactly.
continue to grow. So that,
Exactly.
wow, that's pretty good. One of the things you mentioned, Jasmine, was you're talking about the books and getting your mindset ready to go. Can you tell us, like, what is your all-time favorite business book?
Oh my goodness. So the very first book that I read was Think and Grow Rich, right?
Robert
I
Kiyosaki.
think it's a staple, right? I didn't believe in mindset. In the past, I took like entrepreneur classes and stuff and courses, and they always want to begin with mindset, and they do all these quotes and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so boring, right? During the pandemic, I did an MBA program, and the first thing we did was read Think and Grow Rich. And they said that we cannot go any further till we read this book and understand. And even when I'm reading the book, this is back then before I didn't know any better, right? I'm like, okay, this book said I'm going to be able to read this, think it, and grow rich. So the whole time while I'm reading, I'm like, where are the secrets? Like, what are the things? Like, are they going to tell me these steps? And that's what a lot of new entrepreneurs do. They think that, hey, I'm going to show you how to get six figures, and we're just going to like be able to like give them this step by step, and they don't understand, like, you still got to go through the process. So that was the very first book that I read. I reread that book often. And then also the 5 a.m. Club, I reread often as well.
The Five, I don't think I've read that one. And then when you said Think and Grow Rich, I don't know why Robert Kiyosaki's name came to my mind, but that is through Napoleon Hill, right? Napoleon Hill, right?
Yeah, Think and Grow
Okay.
Rich, Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why Robert Kiyosaki came
He's
to.
because he's a staple too, the four quadrants and
Yeah.
business and Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 a.m. Club? I've never heard of that one though.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I love it. That one changed my life. And it's not even really about, waking up at 5 a.m. Like, that's what a lot of people assume the book is about. But man, if you like listen, I listen to it on Audible, and I kind of listen to that throughout the day. There's so many like good wisdom words. It's an awesome book.
One of the ones that I really like is the Four Agreements. Have you read that
Oh,
one? The
no, I
Four
haven't.
Agreements. It's not a long read. It's not a really big read. But it's a really, really good book. It's one of those ones that I would suggest that everyone
Okay.
reads that book. Yeah.
I'm gonna read
It's a
it.
really
I'm
good
gonna
book.
definitely add it to my list.
I think the first book, when you say like when you say like the starting everything off with the mindset stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, we got to go through
Right.
this again. Like,
Exactly.
I feel you on that so much, until I really started
Yep.
to actually listen and then have the mindset shift. And then it's like,
Yep.
oh, okay, now I see what this is all about, right?
Yep. I mean, the crazy part about it is is when we think about, the wealth gap, right, of different cultures, right? Yes, we don't have a leg up because we don't have generational wealth passed beyond, 3 generation, but it's really the mindset. Like they grow up thinking that they can achieve and do and have anything without limitations or without fear, because that's what they did and that's what they passed down. If we can just pass that down to our children, then the generational gap will be closed. It doesn't take money, physical money, to pass down to each generation to close that gap. It's going to take the mindset. Because if my kids, my 3 boys, can literally believe that, yes, you can be a ninja and a tech designer, then be a ninja tech designer, right? I don't want him to be no ninja, but if his little mind can think that he can be anything and he has no fear and he doesn't believe in no limitations and there's no talk of lack, then he's going to really believe that he can do anything. So today it's a ninja, but tomorrow it's the president. So I think if we can just get them to understand the mindset, because we can only go as far as our mind will take us, and we can only achieve as far as what we will believe. And if we don't believe it, then we're not going to be able to reach anything. You know what I mean? So it's that mindset thing is so powerful. So powerful.
The mindset is key. So we talked on, so you have the company in Texas, and then you said you have another one in Arizona. How is that with balancing the two?
Well, luckily I have a VA team. I have a VA team that manage both of those. So I'm not in that day-to-day anymore with any of my businesses, any of the cleaning businesses. Now, first starting, I had to start with, setting it all up, and it was kind of challenging. But because of how, I set my cleaning companies up, where I'm working with independent contractors and I'm partnering with professional, reliable cleaners, then I don't have to physically be there to manage the company, to do any of the cleaning, or to check on that day to day.
Nice. Okay. And you are doing residential, not commercial, correct?
Correct. Residential.
All right. And you've had, so the one that's in Arizona, is that one, that's the newer one, correct?
Correct. Well, newer as in the most recent one. That one was
recent.
opened up right during pandemic. During some market research, we really started targeting I don't want to say the senior communities. We went down there to visit one time, and I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. And I'm seeing all these big homes, and I'm seeing all these people on golf carts, and everybody looks like they're over 60. And I was like, this is where I'm going to put my next cleaning company. So I went home, researched, planned, and planted, and there it is.
And for everyone who's curious, Jasmine, you are actually in the process. Are you in the process, or is it done? You're creating or have created a course, and you're going to show people how to do
it is done. It is done. Yes. We've been launched for 7 months now. It's such amazing community. I have a great free Facebook group for people to come get free resources. That group has grown so much. It's amazing to see everybody thrive and be able to see the real go-getters, right? To grasp the information, learn it, and then do it. That just makes my heart just jump so much.
All right. Well, I'll have to. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
And then we have, a paid community to where I have the actual course in there, where I will teach you step by step everything. I don't hold back nothing. And because, like we were talking, you're in commercial, right? This cleaning industry, it's a $1 billion industry. It's amazing. I think sometimes people that are in the clean, they just think of residential, they just think of commercial. I've talked to some crazy people that's in the cleaning industry that's doing movie sets and film studios, and it's bananas. So we talk about all of that in the membership.
Okay, and then you have to get me all of the links. I'll put all the links down in the description for people to be able to reach out and connect with you and start, on that path. They can go ahead and take the residential route as well. So yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and do that for you. You have so much knowledge that you've acquired from starting your business to where you are now. You're doing really big things. If you could go back to when you first started your entrepreneurial journey, like when you first started your company, and you could take all of the knowledge that you have, but you could tell yourself, your younger self then, only one thing, what would it be? What would you tell yourself?
Oh man. Don't be fearful. Like, just go. I think we allow fear to hold us back. And sometimes, people are like, I'm not scared, but fear will manifest itself in multiple ways. If you're scared to launch, if you think you're not old enough to talk to and interview new clients, if you think you're too young to talk to and interview new cleaners, I mean, like, it manifests itself in so many ways. So I would say just do it without thinking, just go.
Definitely. Yeah. Fear can and we all experience it,
Oh
right?
yeah.
We all have some level of fear at certain times, but listening to you and how you started your journey from, with your dad and showing you the way, and you being there standing on milk crates. So you kind of had that early education and entrepreneurial, but all of us, like, I didn't have any of that stuff, but when I started my stuff, like, I was just like you, like, a lot of the things that I did were really side hustles, and you can't pass a side hustle on. So when I decided, like, this is what I'm really about to do, there was fear that was involved, but it was just like, what's the worst that can really happen?
Right.
Right. So the worst that
Yep.
can happen is it'll go away, and then I have to go back to doing what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
so that's so true. Don't let fear get in the way of what it is that you want to do. Right.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses, make plans, right?
Right.
And then execute.
No, definitely. I mean, because when I started my cleaning business, I was in the position of no choice. Like, like, this has to work. Like, if it doesn't work, I don't know what else I'm going to do. I started my cleaning company when I had nothing. My husband was out there trying to truck drive and get money out there in the oil fields, and when nothing was working. I just had my youngest son. I mean, I couldn't go back to corporate. So, like, this cleaning business had to work. And I started a cleaning business because I knew I could start it with very low capital and not me actually doing the physical work. So fear wasn't in the way because that mama bear mode was on. And I'm like, it has to work. I have to do it. So if I had the perfect circumstances, then fear would have, like, prolonged the situation, but then I wouldn't have the story that I have, or the success, or being able to teach this crazy amazing business to so many individuals.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on that again, like, I had someone reach out to me and was like, I don't want to. Someone told me that it's going to cost me $10,000 or $15,000 to start my cleaning company. I'm like, man, there's no
No,
way that
no
is going to
way.
cost you
No
that
way.
amount of money to start your company. Not even nothing close to that. So
Yep.
yeah, just being armed with the right information first off, having the right mindset, and just not really letting fear hold us back or hold you back is what could propel you in this business or any other business, in my opinion.
Exactly. So true.
So up until this point, I mean, we've had so much good information. You've given us so much value. Can I ask, like, what are the top two things that have been most valuable for you in entrepreneurship?
Man, I think it's just helped my confidence level and helped me overcome fear. With me actually introducing and having my course out there. We had a New Year's class, and I'm like, 2022 let me know that I can do anything. Like, I could do it. It just let me know that I can do it. And with just that amount of power, with that knowing that I can do it, I mean, I can do anything. So entrepreneurship let me know that I can do it. And if I fail, it's okay, because that's still a part of the process. I can't have success without failure. You can't separate them, right? So it just helped me with that. And the best thing about that, it compounds. So because I know I can do this, the next thing is going to be even greater, and the next thing is going to be even greater.
Definitely, yeah. You absolutely can't have success without. And to me, I would even say, for me personally, that the failures have been more. I've learned so much more from the failures.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, because that is where you learn. That is where you pick up new things, you drop things off that you didn't need. That valley season is needed. It's so necessary.
Yeah, I was telling someone, like, when you first start your business, and when you get to where when we first start is whether I want to make most people are like, I want to make six figures. Like when you
Right.
get from 0 to six figures, like the joy, like it's like, okay, I reached this first goal, because there's always going to be more on top of that. But the learning happens in the middle. It's that line
Oh,
in
yeah.
the middle where you learn so much. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have failures. You're going to bump your head. You're going to learn so much more. It just makes you better in the long run. And then that's really like one of the other things too, is like we provide services for people. So ultimately we're looking to help. And when you have reached where you are, right, and you take all of those learning lessons, we create these courses for people to shorten their learning curve, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. That's what I try to tell. I try to tell my students that all the time. Like, look, this course is just to give you a leg up. It's to give you a good, solid information on the process and some things on what to expect. But you will still have to face your journey. We're introducing a book club this month. And I'm trying to let them know, because they're getting success, right? They're having their clients, and with clients, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, you're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some complaints and some frustration of different clients, right? And I'm trying to tell them that, look, I can show you everything on how to do this business, but I can't show you or tell you how to handle all of those frustrations that's going to happen. I never try to sugarcoat and say, oh, this business is cupcake. It's cotton candy. You're going to make six figures and nothing's going to go wrong. No, things are going to go wrong, and it's going to be different for every single person. But it's what really matters is, how are you going to process that mentally? How are you going to process that with high level of emotional intelligence, right? Are you going to go off on this person, or are you going to learn some de-escalation skills, right? Like, I've had some crazy customers that like went off on me, and like, they're reoccurring weekly clients now. Like, they send us Christmas cards because I've learned the skill of learning how to operate with high emotional intelligence and to learn how to de-escalate and communicate with them. So that's what I'm really trying to get the students to understand, that, look, this is a leg up. I can show you the process, but you're going to still have issues.
Yeah.
This is not taking away from all the things that you're still going to have to learn on your own. This is just giving you a leg up. The mastery is in the doing. Yeah. And if somebody can just fully grasp that, and like commit to that, then they'll have it. But of course, the courses provide you that good, solid information. Because if I would have had the course when I first started, oh my goodness, I would have been able to reach my six figures faster. That's why I have students reaching, 125K in 6 months, yeah, versus the 10, 12 months it took me, because I'm giving them the things that didn't work for me, the things that did work for me. And even though sometimes what worked for me may not work for you, but you're going to have to just see it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. That is some valuable information that I wish more course creators would be more transparent about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jasmine, this is the point where we do randoms, right? This is the random round. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, okay? And tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, right?
Okay.
Okay, so in an alternate universe, right? Somewhere completely different. You're still you, but you cannot be an entrepreneur. What would you be?
Shoot. Lawyer. Yeah. I don't even know how that popped up in my head. You just said pick the first thing.
Okay.
I don't even know how that popped up in my head, because I don't like law, but I love research. And I'll research and find the right answer, or find who did it, who didn't.
Yeah. You know what? I thought about being a lawyer. I don't really care too much about doing the research. Some of the laws are cool, but I just want to be able to yell in court, objection, Your Honor. I just want to be able to. Would you rather have your own business, but make only half of what you make now? And you don't have to say the number, right? Only half of what you make now. And you'll never top that number. You can never, no matter how many systems you create, no matter anything. This is your ceiling. Like, this is where you're at. So it's half of what you make now. Or would you rather have a job working in a company that you absolutely hated, but you make 5 times the amount of what you make now and you're on a 40-hour work week?
That question is, well, I mean, the question is tough. I mean, I'm never gonna choose B. So I mean, I guess the answer would be the business. I just hate the ceiling because I'm gonna have to bust through that bad boy. I mean, we're created to evolve. So I don't.
Yeah, that is a tough one. But I think that most of the time we're always going to choose to work for ourselves. I would, if there's a ceiling, then that just means that, you know, some of the things are just not going to be as nice. Or maybe you can, maybe that looks like not living in the US, like doing your business fully
True.
remote, you know what I mean?
True.
And operating somewhere else.
That is true. I mean, I guess it would provide, you know, more of a work-life balance, because I love to evolve. I'm constantly working. So I guess if I just had the same stagnant of pay, then there wouldn't be no need to work as hard. But then, man, I wouldn't feel as satisfied either, though. That's tough.
Okay, guys, so that is it for today's video. Like I say, in the game of business, spectators are only going to watch, but hustlers, they're going to actually get involved so that they can win. I'm always dropping jewels. Just make sure you're in position to pick them up. You do that by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. And with that said, I'm going to let Jasmine go ahead and close us out.
Thank you, Marcus, so much for having me. This has been super fun. I mean, it's really easy to have a conversation with somebody that's so, you know, like-minded. And entrepreneurs, you know, like we strive to be able to find our circle. So you guys, I strongly suggest you guys get in and plug in with him because he knows exactly what he's talking about. But if you guys are interested in residential, please check me out at ceocleaningacademy.com. And just want some free resources. Also, you can find us at the same name in Facebook. And just like me at Jasmine Tates, all spaces, all the things.
Jasmine, it has been a pleasure. I will talk to you soon. Thank you for stopping by.